Welcome to the Guy at the Movies podcast with Joe and Sean. I am Joe, he is Sean, and we are joined by the wonderful Jaren Talks Movies today. Jaren, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. Thank you for having me on. Like I said to you guys beforehand, I've been wanting to come on here forever, so it's due time. I'm glad to finally hop on one of these.
Well, we're glad to have you joining our ragtag podcast here, talking about all the latest stories and all that jazz. Sean, how are you doing?
Joe, I've got something to tell you, and I didn't want to tell you until it was on mic. There was one night where I was having trouble sleeping, so I was scrolling through TikTok.
Was it when you were drunk watching, what's it called the other night? Outside the Wire?
No, thankfully, this was a lot less. I really could not. I think this was Sunday night. I could not sleep all night. So I'm just scrolling through TikTok, and there's this constant trend of this song where I'm not going to try to imitate the song, but it's just I love this song. And so I listen to the actual audio of it every time. And I keep on going through it, and it's such fun to see the song. So then I just had to Google the lyrics. I found out it was a song from Greatest Showman.
Yes.
This gets worse because then for the next couple of hours, I spent time watching just Greatest Showman clips, including the song at the bar. Then all of a sudden,
it's called From Now On or The Other Side, depends which one you're talking about.
Oh, The Other Side, without a doubt. Yeah. Jesus. So then I continued to watch. All of a sudden, I was rewatching the trailer several times because I was just absolutely mesmerized on how Zendaya could turn act into a 2-syllable word, and it just from there it really got bad. So congratulations, Joe, you've won.
Everyone has an act.
Act. Everyone has an act.
Jaren, are you a Greatest Showman fan?
There was a point in time, I think, when it first came out. I saw it in theaters 3 times. I listened to the soundtrack every single day. I got everyone on the hype train for it. But now I hate the movie. Absolutely hate the movie.
You wore yourself out.
I wore myself out, but to me, it's one of those cases where the music is still so good.
Oh, yeah.
But the movie is kind of forgettable, in my opinion. But that's fine, because I can just listen to the music over and over again. That's cool.
Jaren, it was really great having you here.
Jaren.
Thank you. Take care. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, we have a good amount of news to get to tonight, but we're always going to start off with what we've been watching. I do want to first let everyone know it is a national holiday today. It is National Popcorn Day. So if you feel so inclined, go ahead and pop some popcorn. Can't go to movie theaters, but here we are. So that's that. All right. So let's talk about movies. I'm going to quickly run through 2 that I saw. One is an older film. One is a recent screener that I saw that's now available on VOD. The first is The Take. It's also known as Bastille Day. Came out in 2016. It's an action thriller with Idris Elba and my favorite actor, Richard Madden. I'm putting it on the record there. I love Richard Madden. I think he's just such a good actor, and he needs more to do. So Eternals, ready for it. And hopefully we get more Bodyguard, that series on Netflix, which I loved. But The Take is, I actually think it's a really decent movie. People were like, oh, it's, it tries to be too smart and whatnot. It has some Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum elements. But it actually is kind of intelligent how they weave the story together. It's like a lighter, I wouldn't say lighter. It's like a lesser The Departed, essentially, with not as much F-bombs and stuff. But that's a solid film. That's on Netflix right now. The other one I want to talk about is Bloody Hell. This is a movie that I received a screener for. It's an indie horror, but it's not so much. I mean, it's gory and there's some horror elements, but it's more dark comedy. And it was just actually really delightful. Guy's leg gets sawed off, so delightful is maybe a weird word, but I just really enjoyed it. It was just a solid film through and through. It knew it. We talk about this all the time, Sean and Jaren. I'm sure you know this as well, or can agree with this. When a movie knows what it is and just plays into that and doesn't take itself too seriously, it makes for a great outing.
Absolutely,
and that's how Bloody Hell was. It was so much fun. I texted Sean afterwards and was like, "Am I gonna give this a 5? I think I'm giving this a 5 out of 5." And here we are, 5 out of 5. So
I love a good Joe 5.
Yeah, I surprised myself, which I guess is always good to do. Sean, you haven't watched anything, right?
Oh, nothing at all. Some of the biggest movies came out this weekend, and I had a long 3-day weekend. I was done by Saturday with all of them, so that was a little bit annoying.
Which is
my
good
part.
because you were working from the office and you had many calls and many meetings and what's that Donald Trump thing that was on his?
Oh, he had many. I was trying to remember his. Oh God, I can't remember.
The president will have many calls and many meetings. Okay, cool.
It's like, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I will go with my top film of the weekend, and it surprises me that it was One Night in Miami, because I always get wary of the play adaptations. Is this going to be like, is this going to be something where it's just in one setting completely? That is the case for a large amount, but with the energy that this film possesses, and it does do some very natural setting changes, this feels like a movie instead of a play, and that's something that's so damn important for a play adaptation. Also for just exceptional performances, just like bouncing off of each other, including virtually unknown to me at least, Eli Gorey playing Cassius Clay, who it's like that's a tricky performance because that's just an impression. And you could just make a whole film just doing that impression the whole time and have it directed by Michael Mann and have Will Smith do it. But in this case, it was just something beautiful because there was an impression there. Absolutely. The impression came through, but there was something else to it where you knew he was just a performance. I'm not going to go through all of the actors, but that's the one that stood out for me. Leslie Odom Jr. was also amazing.
Real quick on that, he has a little bit of an immaturity to him. And I think compared to the other three individuals there, he definitely plays into that. And at that time in Cassius Clay's life, I think that was, spot on for that. Jaren, did you see One Night in Miami?
Funny enough, I was actually watching that before I hopped on the stream. I've seen the movie a couple times now. I absolutely love it. I think my favorite performance was Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke.
Okay.
But the portrayal of Muhammad Ali was really good. I'm sorry, Cassius Clay at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I loved it all the way around. It was a great movie.
See, I think Kingsley Benadir is my lead in that. But they're all really good. I mean, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah. It's a shame because Aldous Hodge, I wanted him to have more. He didn't have enough to be really thought of, but he's still just from that first moment he's on camera, I'm like, Aldous Hodge, man, you're there, dude. The other two I watched, which I both liked, and I mean just liked, there was something about each one that bothered me a little bit. News of the World is a damn fine modern Western that really needed a better script. Paul Greengrass decided to direct a modern Western in a John Ford style, which if someone said oh yeah, Paul Greengrass is going to try to do John Ford, I would have punched you in the face. But in this case, I'm going to be less violent and not do such a thing because it actually worked out very well. The other one is the big popular one, and it's divisive, and it's Promising Young Woman. And this could have been one of my favorites of the year all the way until that third act. And that third act is very rough. And I'm going to say that it's because I'm a small child that wants the character to do what I want it to do. And I'm mad that, I'm like, let that happen to me. And it's just one of those things where I truly wish, it went that way. I think there's some problems with it. It feels unsatisfying. It's an unsatisfying journey for the character. But it's still I'm telling you, up until then, holy crap, was that a great movie.
That's definitely the kicker, the third act. Mm-hmm. For me, it absolutely worked. I had to take some time to come around on it, but it stuck with me. It really stuck with me. It made my top 3 of the year. I'm crazy about the movie. I can't wait to see what Emerald Fennell does next.
I 100% agree with that.
That is true.
That's one of those movies that is I don't know if it's fair to say overhyped right now because it sticks with you. You're 1000% correct in that because the topic itself is so invasive and just it's strongly communicated and dealt with here. But I agree, Sean, the ending is what kind of got me. I remember being like, I don't know about this. But the acting, the directing, everything is just phenomenal. It's such a good movie. We have Darren in the chat saying, that ending is wild. You're either going to love or hate the ending. And I totally agree with that. I mean, you're seeing it right here between the three of us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jaren, what have you watched recently?
Okay, so the two I came to par with was I have one good movie and one not so great movie. I'll start off with the bad one. Lockdown, directed by Doug Liman. This is a new release. It came directly to HBO Max. This is directed by the guy who made Born Identity, starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Anne Hathaway. It's got all the pieces to be a great movie, and this movie absolutely sucked. I wanted to have a good time, but I'm already tired of this pandemic concept already. I mean, we're living in it right now. We've already got like 3 movies about it, and I just feel like they still haven't figured out a way to capture the vibe of this, what we're going through, and it's just they bog it down with all the stuff that you just don't care about, and they try to push in so many different concepts that by the end I was just tired. I wanted to go to sleep. I hated this movie.
I was really surprised to see all of the negative reactions to it, and I haven't watched it, and that's kind of why, because I'm like, I'm not wasting my time on this.
It's not great.
First of all, take a look at the poster of Lockdown. Kerry Russell is in the poster, and it's her. It's not Anne Hathaway at all. Like, if you look at it, it's kind of wonderful. But the other issue, I just want to kind of bring this to the table: the COVID movies. This is going to be, and COVID TV shows. This is going to be a problem. Whether they're the central theme, or it's just going to be like, they're just casually wearing masks as they're going to get like bagels at the street while they try to solve a murder. I mean, it's just one of those things where we're not going to be able to escape it. And I do not know the correct formula, but Lockdown used the complete incorrect formula on this one.
It's so forced. Everything is forced.
God.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, and then my other pick is a documentary that came out on HBO Max recently, and that is Tiger. Now, this was a 2-parter. I had to wait like a week in between to see both parts, but I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I stuck through this thing because from the time I was a little kid, I grew up. My dad showed me Tiger Woods, all the clips. We had him on the TV 24/7. My first video game ever was the one that you got on the Wii, the Tiger Woods video game. So I was obsessed with this guy. And funny enough, little did I know that when I was a child, he was going through all the scandal at the time. I didn't know any of that. I just thought this guy is a legend. He's an icon. But this really breaks it down. I think the tagline for it is the rise, the fall, and the comeback of Tiger Woods. And I absolutely love the way that this was constructed because I feel like they didn't really take a side. It was just telling his story in the most fulfilling way, I feel like. There was a couple moments I think should have been fleshed out a bit, but overall I was incredibly impressed. And I like him even more in the midst of all the crap that he went through. I really enjoyed this one.
He had some tumultuous times.
Yeah. It's truly amazing because I've gotten to an argument with several friends already. They're like, "This is a Tiger hit job," and I'm like, "It is the opposite of that.
Absolutely not. No,
it shows just the facts completely, and yeah, some of those facts kind of suck for the guy. Let's be honest, but it was something that, like you said, just completely unbiased the way through. It is interesting where you look at both of these. We have Tiger and we have The Last Dance, and we don't need to compare these on quality. I'm not going to do that. That's going to be impossible. But I look at them, and Tiger was not involved at all in this documentary. The Last Dance, Jordan had Final Cut approval. They still zeroed in on him a few times with this and that, but there's some differences there, and it depends on what you want and what you sort of want in a sports documentary. Once again, both amazing. So I'm not even there to oust them, but that might be one of the keys there.
I think most concerning to me is that your first video game was on the Wii. Oh my God, my first was on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, for the longest time, my parents had something against video games. They wouldn't get me any system. I think my brothers actually surprised me with one, and it was against my parents' approval. But they just stuck with it, and that's the first one I got.
Hey, good for you. It's funny just the games that were around when you were a kid versus when I was a kid. I'm feeling old, is what I'm saying. I'm feeling old. All right, so let's move on a little bit. Before we get to our news, once again, want to highlight the fact that our own Sean, Math Teacher Movies, has a fantastic weekly column on Mondays, Awards Watch with Sean. Sean, tell us a little bit about this week's update.
So this week, I decided to go into the performance awards. So best actor, actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress. The real thing is actor and actress are going to be probably going to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis. Viola Davis is the more prominent, definite. While Chadwick Boseman, there's some real strong heavy hitters behind him, but still there's a lot going for it. I'm going to talk about Chadwick in a second because he might be in a lot of trouble. But then we go to supporting actor and supporting actress. And no, I've got a theory. I see the faces. I got a theory.
It was just weird how you said that. I'm like, he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's probably in a lot of trouble. So best supporting actor is completely very unknown. Leslie Odom Jr. is sort of at the top for One Night in Miami. You have Paul Raci in there. You have Trial of the Chicago 7, basically Sacha Baron Cohen. That's my theory that's going to go in there. But that one is a little bit more up for grabs. The big one in Best Supporting Actor is Daniel Kaluuya. No one's really, I mean, a few critics have seen this, but no one's really seen Judas and the Black Messiah. That will be huge when that comes out because everyone's saying he's amazing and he could jump to the top because there's no lock right now. Best Supporting Actress is sort of the same thing. It's a bit of a cluster with Amanda Seyfried right at the top, but it's not strong buzz. So you look at there, you got Olivia Colman, Yoo Jung-yoon, and then the big ones are Glenn Close and Ellen Burstyn. It's the battle of the old ladies because Glenn Close has been nominated 726 times and has not won an Oscar. And then Ellen Burstyn is 726 years old and is about to win her second, wants to win her second Oscar. So this is the big moment where those two might have the strongest narratives and, try to crawl up and beat Seyfried. I'm going to talk about Boseman's issue. Boseman's issue is that he's also up for Best Supporting Actor in The Five Bloods. This could be a situation where voters want to just vote for him in one or the other. And then the problem could be that, they vote, like some of them vote for Ma Rainey's, but then not the other one. Some of them vote for The Five Bloods, but then not the other one. And there could be, and this is very unlikely, I don't think this is happening, but it worries me that he's getting attention for a supporting actor in The Five Bloods, considering he's basically a lock for Best Actor. But pretty much this could be a situation where he loses out on both nominations. Once again, I don't think that's happening, but that is something that's very scary to me right now. Please, everybody, all the actors that are listening, I know you're all listening, please vote Chadwick Boseman for Best Actor only. The Five Bloods, he's lovely, but, come on, get it into Ma Rainey's Black Bottom right there. That was the worst sentence I've ever said. So.
Is that where we're ending?
I think that's where we're ending the entire podcast.
Oh, dear Lord.
I did not. Okay, we're done. Yeah, no. Okay. But that's my Oscar poll. I wonder who the co-host will be next week.
Jaren, it's open if you want it.
Yeah, I'll take over. That's fine.
So I sent this to you earlier, Sean. The Philadelphia Film Critics Circle named a few of their winners today. And Ma Rainey's Black Bottom won Best Film. Viola Davis won Best Actress. Pixar's Soul won Best Animated Film. Chloe Zhao won Best Director. And The Five Bloods, Chadwick Boseman won Best Supporting for that, and Delroy Lindo won Best Actor for that. So that's kind of interesting to me.
It's really interesting because a lot of people, rightfully so, want to give Delroy Lindo that Oscar. And, I mean, he really does deserve it. It's an amazing performance. But it is – and then, I think there's a lot of people thinking, okay, cool, then we'll give Chadwick his Oscar for Ma Rainey's and, but in The Five Bloods instead. And that's kind of their, backwards way of doing this so that Delroy also gets his honor. Because when The Five Bloods came out, Delroy was pretty much a lock for Best Actor, even though it was in June. Everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, no, that's happening. They're giving him the Oscar. That's it." But obviously things happened.
Amanda Seyfried also got Best Supporting Actress in that.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. There we go. That's one. Wow. That's one of the normal wins of all that.
Normal wins.
I mean, everything else was very unexpected.
I am with you there. Are you a big awards person, Jaren?
I am. I'm sad that the people I want to win are not getting much attention anymore.
The Cleveland Browns, I know.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. I don't want to talk about that. I shouldn't have wore this jersey. It was just kind of instinct, but I should have known that was coming.
I was trying to find a way to work it in.
I was looking too, but that's very good, Joe. Very sharp. I like that. All right.
I was rooting for them, as you know, we were talking. But yeah, Jaren, they're definitely, it's kind of like I'm a sports fan too, but it's like another Super Bowl for me is the award season.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the big one that stands out for me, I think, is Where's the Love for Riz Ahmed? Did that kind of fizzle out a bit? Are people not talking about him much?
He's getting a nomination. He's one in Best Actor. There's 4 locks, and one of them is him. Okay. Lock is a very strong word for the nominate, but I think that he will be in there. I agree. I think that was, in my opinion, probably the best performance of the year. Yeah, it was amazing.
Was that one of the ones that Amazon was pushing as for the Emmys, though? Or am I making that up?
No. I forget why that wasn't the case. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. That was so weird.
It's still just so odd that some of them are Emmys. Ugh. Sylvie's Love. Are you kidding me?
I love Sylvie's Love.
Wait, that was nominated for an Emmy instead?
No, it's going to be nominated for Emmys. It's only eligible for Emmys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Doesn't make it, Amazon.
That's ridiculous. I don't like
It's
that.
so
I love
bad.
Sylvie's Love too. That's a very underrated movie already.
Such a
Nobody's
great
talking about it.
movie.
1,000%. I remember watching it when I think I watched it during the Philadelphia Film Festival, whenever that was. God, I don't know. Time doesn't matter anymore. But it was so innocent. It's just such a good romantic movie, and you don't get those simple movies anymore. Back in my day,
It doesn't do anything too crazy, and that's probably why it didn't get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, these two people fall in love. It's like in other ones, it's like, oh, Tom Cruise like jumps over 3 Grand Canyons and dies. So you're gonna go see? I'm gonna go see that. But like eventually, I caught around to Sylvie's Love, and I was just like, wow, I just saw two people fall in love. What a great thing!
and they had great chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, let's move on. Start talking about some of our news. We do have quite a bit to get to, but I think we'll have some good conversations. The first is that we are getting a film that's about to get the Mean Girls treatment here, because this is also happening with Mean Girls. So, Matilda, I think we're all familiar with the 1988 novel that became the 1996 film, which I actually really enjoy. I think it's like one of my childhood favorites.
Yeah.
It became a musical. The musical is very delightful. They are now making a movie at Netflix of Matilda the musical, which is based on the 96 movie that is also based on the 88 book. So that is also happening with Mean Girls. They're making a Mean Girls musical movie based on Mean Girls the musical, which is based on Mean Girls the movie. No book.
I follow.
I follow that. What we've learned recently is that the wonderful Emma Thompson is going to be she's going to be playing the headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, in addition to newcomer Alicia Weir, who will be Matilda herself, and Lashana Lynch from Captain Marvel will play Miss Honey. And this will be a Netflix film. Jaren, what is your relationship with Matilda?
It's one that I remember seeing on ABC Family every once in a while. That's where I watched it a ton. I don't think I ever put it on voluntarily, but I remember enjoying it for the most part. I wouldn't say I have any like huge memories with it, but I definitely remember watching it a good bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, how about you?
This was a huge movie for me. I cannot remember if it was seen in theaters. I think it was like just before I was like, watching movies in theaters or remembering movies in theaters. And just knowing it was Mara Wilson, where it's like Mara Wilson was the celebrity of children. You knew her and everything. So now she is going to be getting her like big shot, like, as the lead. And there have been other movies where she's probably been the lead before, but this was a very famous one. And it had this dreamscape of, if I could control things with my mind, I could run my parents. Like I could run what's going on in the household, run what my parents are doing. And there was something sort of magical about that, and like the way we had that capability. I think it's great that they're doing this. I know it sounds like, I usually am not a fan of the remakes. They get a little bit too more colorized. This was directed by Danny DeVito, who's kind of like a messed up director. And so it is just one of those things where we're going to get something a little bit more colorized, a little bit more joyful and happy. And that's fine for the musical portion, but I don't think it will be able to imitate the magic, starting with Emma Thompson as Trunchbull. Emma Thompson's wonderful, but they're going to over make up her. They're going to just like supersize her somehow, and it's just not really going to work as well as the original Trunchbull.
Really?
I don't know if they're doing that, but that's my prediction at least.
I'll tell you though, in the musicals, she's not really like overly large or whatnot. Like she's not she's still like very intimidating with the makeup and the way they do her, but she's not. It was a larger woman the way they did her in the Matilda film. But I'm into it. Mainly because I saw the musical, so I'm really into the music there. Jaren, it sounds like you're a musical person too, in terms of liking musical films, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I like musicals. If they're done right. Sometimes I kind of like, I'm the La La Land sort of dude, so I need to have like a really compelling narrative as well as the good music in between. So if they're able to balance both, that's good. I'll be all for it if it's done well. About Emma Thompson though, I actually thought when I heard that she was going to be cast as Miss Trunchbull, I thought, wow, that's perfect, because to me, I see her as Nanny McPhee still. It's me, Nanny McPhee is like a skinnier version of Miss Trunchbull in a lot of ways, just the way she looks, and I think she has that same charisma. I can see her doing very, very well.
I want to go on record saying I do love Emma Thompson, and I was actually excited when I heard that casting. I was like, "Oh, sounds good." I think I'm just too stuck in the mud of the original, and I'm still going to enjoy this. I'm sure I'm going to look at it with different lens. That's what you're supposed to do with the remake, and I hope it works out very nicely. I don't know where the voices are coming from. My apologies.
Well, that's all really good news because Emma Thompson has just been cast in the Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-hour film. So she will be. It's unknown what role she'll be taking, but she has filmed. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, Zack Snyder just announced recently that his film, which was going to be a movie and then was going to be a 4-episode series, is now going to be a 4-hour movie. I assume this has something to do with HBO Max moving all their films onto HBO Max in addition to theaters. I don't know that was originally the plan back when they announced Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm excited for this. I've gone on record saying I can't wait for this movie. But Jaren, interested in your perspective on the Snyder Cut.
Oh, I can't wait for the Snyder Cut. It's one of my most anticipated of the year just because getting to see a director show his entire vision, that's cool. I mean, it's a redemption story. This is what everyone who is a big fan of the DC universe has been waiting for, I feel like.
It is the American story.
Exactly. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of potential for this to be great, honestly. Just from the trailers I've seen, it seems extremely stylistic, everything that Zack Snyder is made of. The fact that they're making a 4-hour movie instead of a series it doesn't really impact me that much, to be honest, because it's like, okay, I was gonna binge the series episode to episode to episode either way, so it's gonna be the same thing for me. I don't understand like the big like hiccup why people are freaking out about it. Was it gonna be like released weekly or something, or all at once?
I think that was what they were originally doing. Like I assumed it was going to be every week in March that they were doing it. And then releasing the movie altogether as an option at the end. But I do know that they're making a push into IMAX and theaters from what I've been reading.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that has something to do with it as well. I mean, I'm not sure IMAX and theater chains are going to be really pumped if like the movie's already been available.
That's true, yeah. But I was going to wait either way. I was just going to wait. If it was going to be episodes, wait until all 4 episodes come out so I can binge it back to back to back. That just felt right to me. So I'm excited for it.
I want you to know that as you were talking about the 4-hour piece, you were getting into that. I think Sean was about to agree with you because I think he thought you were going to say you didn't like the 4-hour movie.
Oh, really?
That's how it seemed to me because you were like,
We've talked about this. I like the 4-hour movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I first of all, I like the 4-hour movie because I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, the runtime is 2.5 hours," or "Oh, the runtime is 3.5 hours," and I'm like, yeah, you're about to sit down and probably watch 18 episodes of The Office. And The Office is lovely, but it's the same thing.
Very
all
true.
right? It really is. It's just at this point you're, eating an entire chocolate cake at once instead of, at little bits at a time. So
good Matilda reference.
Oh, nice. That's what I meant to do. Absolutely. But I really do like this way better than the series idea. Experience this. It's meant to be a movie. Experience this as a movie. Maybe they would have put episode narratives into that. They obviously wouldn't because it's a movie. So it's way better that it is a 4-hour movie. And also just watch the 4-hour movie. None of us are doing anything. Everything's closed and it's too cold to walk. Watch the damn movie. I'm sick of the
Preach.
It's too cold to walk. Our pets' heads are falling off. I'm very excited about it. I honestly can't wait to see it. I still enjoy all the people that are like, it's not going to be that different anyway. I'm like, it's literally 2 hours longer. It's literally another movie.
Yeah.
But that's what DC has going on, aside from more developments with the Ray Fisher story, which we won't get into. I'm just kind of letting that play out a little bit more until we get back to that, because we've been covering it each week, and it seems like every time that we cover it, something else happens the following day. But let's talk about Marvel. WandaVision premiered on Friday, the first 2 episodes. And this is a new thing that Guy at the Movies is doing by covering WandaVision, because it does play into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Darren's Movie Reviews is writing a recap every Friday, which is wonderful to read. But I want to get your thoughts on WandaVision, because it is very different than anything we've seen before. So Sean, you have a smile on your face. What are your thoughts on WandaVision?
I feel like I'm in the courtroom movie as the skeptical judge, which it's like, objection overruled. But watch yourself, counselor. Where I'm sort of saying that, okay, this is weird. I'm accepting this. I'll allow it. But you better have a plan. You better be going somewhere with this. WandaVision had 2 episodes of absolute and amazing fun. I was enjoying myself. I was laughing. It was cool seeing Nick at Night-like shows that were being referenced. But then I said, and this is Marvel we're talking about, so I know I'm talking crazy, but I did say, I was like, I hope they have a plan to land this thing, because otherwise this will be a bit of a mess. And this is, once again, Feige's there. Feige's chilling over in the corner there, all right? He's got the plan. The plan is there. I have absolute faith in it. That's my only concern. Once again, though, absolutely loved that, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen were finally given lines in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's definitely a different type of film or different type of series and Marvel outing. But it had Deborah Jo Rupp in it from that 70s show. So come on. Like they sold me on that. She also looks great, by the way.
Oh yeah,
she looks the same. She doesn't age.
Yeah, I was like, is that really her? Jaren, what do you think of it?
I absolutely love this so far. I do think I do hope that obviously they go somewhere more impactful than this, but just like right off the bat, the leaps and bounds they're taking with trying to capture like this old TV theme. Like I grew up every Saturday morning watching I Love Lucy, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, stuff like that. They're capturing that essence perfectly. It's cool to see, like you said, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen actually get lines. Like they actually have great chemistry together, and it's just I love seeing their story expanded. But there's still a lot of questions to be had. But I will say that I also got to see the 3rd episode. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but on this course that they're going, every episode is getting gradually better, which is saying a lot. I'm really excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah, I was reading a couple of articles. I fell into a research hole, mainly because how every time a Marvel show comes out, or other series and other movies do this as well. But there's always Easter eggs, and people catch them. Like, how did they catch them? But in the 2nd episode with the helicopter, when I saw the number 57 on it, I was like, "What is that? What is that? That's something." And I went searching, and it's Vision's first appearance in the comics.
Oh, cool.
But in saying that, I did this deep dive into sort of what people think is going on and, where they're taking their influences from the comics. And there just seems like I can see everything that people are theorizing, which is, again, a Marvel thing, right? Like, yeah, that makes sense. But what about this? Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. I don't know. So I'm excited because I do think that, as we know, this is the series that is going to kind of blow open the MCU and take us into the next phase. And I think it's already doing that, just being as weird and quirky as the first 2 episodes were. And Jaren, it sounds like the 3rd episode is going to give us just as much of that and take us further.
I mean, how about Catherine Hahn as well? If we're going to go into that, what a great casting, because that's the perfect role. Weird and old timey TV is just like, okay, just perfect.
I'm suspicious of her. I love her, but I'm so suspicious.
I would be, yeah. She's a pretty big enough star where she's not just going to be like, best friend. Like I could see that something big.
Can I tell you something that this isn't a spoiler or anything, because I didn't get screeners for this. So Jaren, you know more than I do in terms of the episodes right now. But if you Google the cast, there's one person that pops up that I don't know. Maybe I'm making a lot about this, but Evan Peters pops up on the cast list. Yeah. And I'm like, where the hell is he? What's he doing? He dead.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
It's Marvel. Come on.
Maybe.
He also was in the MCU for like 3 seconds when you think back to it.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I want to see where they go, mainly because of Catherine Hahn. I like Teyana Paris a lot in this. I'm excited to see how they develop Monica Rambeau more for the 2nd outing of Captain Marvel. And then who's the other individual? The one that plays the cul-de-sac queen, cul-de-sac captain.
Oh, what's her name?
I can't remember her name.
She was great though.
Oh, she was great.
That's again, everybody in their respective roles did amazing at playing their part. Like she really nailed that type of cliche.
I just feel like Elizabeth Olsen's character, as I think her as Wanda, she's about to explode. Like she's like trying to make this, world or whatever. It just sounds like things are not going to go the way she wants it to, and I think that's what's going to just set her off. So I can't wait. I'm excited. So let's move on a little bit to other Marvel news. So that was kind of our long segue into the rest of the stuff that's going on with Marvel. Multiple things. One, Daredevil, Charlie Cox, has been spotted on the set of Spider-Man 3. He had been rumored to be in the third Spider-Man for quite a while. So, hey, that might be happening. Matt Damon is rumored to be in Thor Love and Thunder. Not sure why, but hey, that's something that's happening as well. We also know that Nebula is confirmed to be in that. She had kind of teased that a while back. She's confirmed to be in it. And the other two pieces are Ethan Hawke has been cast as the villain in Moon Knight, the Moon Knight series. And Chris Evans is rumored to be back as Captain America. Let's talk about the Captain America piece later, because I think that can get a little deep and there's going to be some opinions. But Jaren, with those three, or I guess four if you include Nebula, all those different casting announcements or castings, any of them excite you? Any of them concern you?
The thing that concerns me, I don't know if it concerns me, but I don't like that they kind of confirmed that Daredevil's parts were already filmed for Spider-Man 3. There's speculation, obviously, that he was possibly going to be in the movie, but I hate that they just continue to confirm this stuff because it's like the excitement is dwindling a bit. It's like we're going to go into this movie when it opens, and we're just going to expect to see this already. There's not going to be any surprises. For me, when I heard that, I much rather thought I'd want to sit in that theater opening night and be told that for the first time when I'm watching the movie, that he was going to be in the movie. Because now I feel like the spotlight is continuously being drawn away from Tom Holland, and it's going to be about, how many other cameos are going to be brought into this movie already? It doesn't concern me. It's just kind of disappointing. I feel like it's going to take away a little bit of the excitement, the enjoyment going in. I'm also curious about Matt Damon, I guess you could say, because all I know of him being in the MCU is playing like the theater Loki or whatever in Ragnarok. Like, why is he coming back? Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. I think I'm excited to see where they go with all of it. I don't think you can ever doubt Marvel fully because it seems like even when they do something weird, they've always got a plan. They've always got a vision. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm with you with Spider-Man 3. I feel like we're all going to be waiting to see, like, when is this person going to pop up? When is that person going to pop up? And that's going to take away from it. Quick side note, neither of you corrected me about Evan Peters in the MCU when I brought that up earlier. So who was her brother, Wanda Maximoff's brother in this?
It was
Silver Surfer.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
But
the Quicksilver Surfer.
Weren't there two going on? Like, didn't we have one in the MCU and then one in the Fox Marvel movies?
Yes. That was the other Quicksilver.
Let's see.
So Evan Peters was in the Fox.
Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson was Quicksilver in
That's
Age of
right,
Ultron.
that's right. Shout out to Darren for calling me on that in the comments. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate that because I was like racking my brain over it. Sean, I know that you're excited about the Moon Knight stuff with Ethan Hawke.
I am. So when the reaction I had when you texted that to me was just absolutely explosive and global. I could not believe it. Ethan Hawke is gonna be the villain in a comic book movie. That is just so great. I mean, I don't know anything about these characters. I don't know anything about these characters. Fine, Oscar Isaac's in it too. That sounds awesome. I love it. I love the idea. Get Oscar Isaac in there. But Ethan Hawke is gonna be the villain in a comic book movie. I don't even care the type of villain. I don't even care the type of comic book that it's going to be. He's going to ham it up. He's going to have some fun. Ethan Hawke is back, baby. I mean, he hasn't really left. He's actually done a lot of great stuff, including an amazing Oscar-worthy performance in First Reformed. However, now he's going into the amazing MCU, and I can't be MCU, and I can't be happier.
I was going back trying to find the text messages from when you were texting me, and I can't because there's just so much ridiculous stuff that we've been texting recently. The funniest of which just caught my eye, was when we were talking about Zack Snyder and stuff. And I said he just posted a picture of the editing room saying that he was working on the film, and on the picture was Cyborg, love the shade. And you said, breaking, Snyder fired by Warner Brothers, later executed. And I said, Justice League will now release in Quibi format over the next 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
And you said 800 episodes. Anyway, we're stupid. No, I'm with you. I'm really excited about the Ethan Hawke casting. Moon Knight's one of those series that I don't know much about, and I think that's what really excites me about it, is that it's finally a character that I'm not too familiar with, and I'm not familiar with it anyway. Let's be real. How about the Chris Evans stuff? So he's rumored to be signing a deal to be in at least one project, and potentially in another. I did hear, or I did read something that potentially this is to make a quick appearance in Spider-Man 3 in like another world or whatever. Or potentially someone said, what if it's a series on HBO Max, Disney Plus, about him returning all of the Infinity Stones?
Actually sounds good.
I know.
Actually sounds kind of good.
Jaren, you have a visceral reaction when I say this.
It disappoints me. I feel like his arc is perfect. I don't see why they need to bring him back at all. Which didn't he post a tweet that said news to me? Is that like, does that mean he's definitely not going to do it, or is that like the same thing where She-Hulk was not confirmed until the convention, and then they said that she was going to be in it?
Yeah, it's plain coy.
Yeah, it's maybe he's just gonna come back and play in another gym class video for Spider-Man 3. You remember those things where he sits on the chair?
Maybe
he's gonna do like a little cameo or something. Maybe it's not gonna be anything too huge. I just can't see what they would do with him at this point.
I thought it was going to be like maybe voicing another character in What If, like for another season of What If that takes off, or I don't know. Sean,
if that's the case, that's cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys are forgetting the big thing that's going to be happening is that Disney Plus also has a series that they announced involving Buzz Lightyear, and we're going to now have Buzz Lightyear in the MCU, and I'm more than happy about that. That's perfect. No, I mean, I look at this, and it is, the arc is closed for him. It's so perfect, and it was just beautiful the way they, I mean, literally ended like the Avengers. I mean, the original Avengers, and his was the last shot, and I think that's something like, it feels disrespectful to bring him back. And if it is something where he's going to be, you know, like, so you got the attention. And I love that. But why would they announce that then? I mean, I know they're just announcing everything like we talked about with Charlie Cox. It's like Charlie Cox walks by Spider-Man. He's, you know, breaking news. It is also a Buzz Lightyear movie. Interesting.
Yeah, not a series. That's a movie. There also is some weird stuff going on with stuff in the background, though, when you bring up Charlie Cox as a joke, I know. But if you see, like in Morbius, there's the picture of Spider-Man, which I believe was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the wall. And then in some of the leaked pictures from Spider-Man 3 right now, we're seeing like Mysterio posters, like something about like a cult or something with him, or like I Believe and that type of stuff. So it just seems like they're playing with a lot here. I don't know.
It's scary.
It is scary. I don't know if Captain America and Chris Evans factor into that in any way. Like if maybe it's just him popping up in one of those videos, maybe we're making a lot out of nothing. But I heard, one of the other things I read, I think this may have been in Deadline. It was basically comparing his potential involvement to Robert Downey Jr.'s after Iron Man 3 ended. He was never the star of the movie, but always like, you know, the Spider-Man movies, he popped up to help Tom Holland, stuff like that. I don't know. Who knows? We will have to wait to see if America's ass makes his way back to the MCU. All right. So, switching gears here, no good segue, but let's talk about David O. Russell's upcoming untitled film that apparently is locking down everyone in Hollywood to be in it. Here is who we have in this film. Rami Malek, Zoe Saldana, Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Robert De Niro, Mike Myers, Timothy Olyphant, Michael Shannon, Chris Rock, Anya Taylor-Joy, I'm going to butcher these names, oh my gosh, Andrea Riseborough, Matthias Schoenaerts, and Alessandra Nivola. We know nothing about this film. We know nothing about it.
I haven't made a script yet.
This is Avengers 4. No, I don't know. Sean, are you interested in this with David O. Russell? Are you a fan of his films?
I think that David O. Russell has been on a stiff decline. I loved a lot of his early work, and unfortunately, then American Hustle. My biggest issue with this is actually, if we want to draw this to the comic books, is that every single person and character in the world is going to be in Spider-Man 3. That means there's going to be a lack of focus on character. That means it's going to be distracting. That means you're going to end up unsatisfied if you are going to just like constantly look at everything that's going on. That seems to be what's happening here. And whenever there's a gigantic cast like this, I mean, some of those people you listed are going to have 2 lines, okay? Because you cannot withhold something with that many, different people. I love all those actors, by the way. I'm very excited for them. I'm very excited that they all want to work with David O. Russell. But there's just no way to withhold that, and therefore this kind of cast ends up being a big distraction. This is happening with Adam McKay as well, with Don't Look Up, and everyone's like so excited and cool. I like when people are excited. I think that's wonderful. But if there's 10 million people in your cast, you're going to be disappointed by the fact that not every single one of them is going to be the central focus of the camera. So you got to make sure that you definitely squelch your disappointments there. Squelch is not a word.
Jaren, how about you? Is this something that excites you?
I don't think I could say I'm excited. I mean, when you look at David O. Russell's filmography, I think the only movie I really like of his is The Fighter. Other stuff to me is okay, but nothing's really stuck with me like other directors. But I think, I'm worried about the same thing. Where's the focus gonna go? That's a lot of names to jumble and carry around to make a good movie. So it worries me to see how well it's actually gonna come off, but I can't say I'm too excited for it, to be honest.
Yeah, when we're talking about his decline, though, what are we really talking about? Because he had I Heart Huckabees in 2004, which was his follow-up to Three Kings in 99. The Fighter, Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle. Joy was like a little bit of
American Hustle is where he starts to turn for me, because everyone was so excited, and I really, really disliked that one.
I didn't like Silver Linings Playbook either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, I guess to say he's on a decline might be a little premature.
Well, I mean, has there been anything since Joy? I'm actually curious about that.
No,
not that I can see.
Selena, no, that wasn't David O. Russell. That was just Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, which was got negative 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Selena,
was it Serena?
Serena.
This is bad that I'm doing this. I don't know, because I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm just starting to really dive into something of which I have nothing to know about.
Are you talking about Joy? That was Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's the thing. There was another one after that, and that was the kind of the nutty one, because it was this other movie made. I don't even think it was David O. Russell or not. It might not have been David O. Russell, but I believe it was called Serena. And pretty much everyone's released that right after, maybe right after Joy. And
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That was not David O. Russell, though.
Okay, that's what I figured after I said it. I was like, oh boy, that's not right.
16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was one of those things where they're like, everybody loves J-Law and B-Coops. And so they just decided to put that literally on the poster, J-Law and B-Coops.
Yeah.
And no one was thrilled. They're like, oh, we need a plot. Shit.
I'm going to add this to my list because I'll probably love it.
Oh, no.
Good for you.
Yeah. Listen, Jaren.
I like this. This is fun.
I don't know. I agree with what you all are saying. It concerns me when you put so many people in a movie. It seems like that might be like David O. Russell trying to get more attention on his film after being away from directing for 5 years, 6 years. 6 years. We're in 2021. So I don't know. I want to see a plot. I want to know what you're talking about. But that seems to be the big thing now that everyone's doing. Steve Soderbergh has a big film coming out with a bunch of different people as well.
Well, he just does weird shit though. Let him do what he can do whatever he wants, because he's just weird as hell. I love it. He's just going crazy.
This is true. Well, that's actually a really good segue to Weird as Hell. We're getting a Willy Wonka prequel, and this has been in development for quite a while. But I actually made myself giggle while I was writing this story today, because I said, if you've always said to yourself, gee, I wonder what Willy Wonka was doing before he had a chocolate factory that essentially tortured and killed children, boy, do we have news for you. Warner Brothers announced that a long-in-development prequel film to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory titled Wonka will release in 2023 with Paddington director Paul King in the director's chair, as well as David Heyman producing. Jaren, how did you feel about Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka?
That was wacky. He haunted my dreams as a kid. What the heck was that movie? Is it supposed to be stylistic? I guess that's just Tim Burton in a nutshell, that movie. But I absolutely hated it. Like I said, that scared the crap out of me as a kid.
How about you, Sean?
I mean, I'm much older, so I went with the I almost said the Gene Kelly Willy Wonka.
That would be something.
Like, oh my God, I can't remember his name. I'm a horrible person.
Gene
Wilder. Holy crap. The Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. And that's what's great about that movie is there's something that Burton hasn't really like manufactured that well yet is subtlety, where it's just like, oh no, Gene Wilder's creepy. He's a little goofy. The place is darkly, the place is like wildly unsafe and incredibly dark. And kids, probably die. And so it's one of those things where it is like this creepy movie, but also, kids enjoy it and they're slowly like, we loved it. And then when we got older, we're like, oh shit. I think that the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory just said like, let's make it animated and horrifying and just, not even go for something there. I'm a little bit worried about like a prequel for Willy Wonka. I don't think this is like really a great idea. In fact, I think it's a terrible idea. I'm sorry. Wait, did you say Paddington director Paul King?
Yes.
Best Picture 2023.
I was going to say, does that actually make me excited for the movie a little bit?
Yes. 100% yes.
Wow.
It was funny because I shared this with my father earlier that this was happening, and he was like, didn't they already cover some of his backstory in the Tim Burton one? And he's right. They did talk about like, his father as a dentist or something or something like that. And then they showed him getting the Oompa Loompas. I don't know. I don't have anything to add to this because Johnny Depp's Michael Jackson character.
It's just good to know that that's going to be the weirdest story we cover today, Joe.
What do you think?
I have news for you. What's up, Jaren?
What do you guys think about the potential casting for it? So I think so far it's like Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet was born for this role.
I hate it.
Born for this role.
I will say this is the big thing to do, and I always say this, so everyone's tired of me saying it, but for this kind of role, just because it gets popular and people are going to look at it, go for an unknown. Yes, I was going to say go for an unknown. I mean, just get like there's actors that need work, and there's good actors that need work.
I was going to say Paul Dano.
Ooh, is he too old now though?
Is he?
Maybe no.
I guess he would kind of look older than Johnny Depp in the Charlie.
Everyone will though.
But he's like perfect. He fits that character to me perfectly. He's like so whimsical and he's just awkward and weird. Like you see him in. I just watched There Will Be Blood recently. Him as that pastor character or whatever, just like jumping around. I think he would embody it really well.
Huh. Wow.
I think Charlie should be Daniel Day-Lewis then, and they just come back for it. He comes out of retirement.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Did you ever see that meme? This is a complete side note with Charlie, though, where it was like, Charlie, you get my factory. And they're like, great. And they're like, first, so now we need to talk to you about some PR issues. There's rumors that you're killing children and you've enslaved an entire population. Oh, God, it's terrible. All right, well, speaking of creeps, so here's one thing that's going on is Lionsgate's Shotgun Wedding, which is an upcoming rom-com with J-Lo, and it was going to star Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer has now exited the role due to the purported release of alleged messages sent by him through direct messaging that are sexually controversial, to say the least. It's very interesting. Armie Hammer released a statement that says, I'm not responding to these BS claims, but in light of the vicious and spurious online attacks against me, I cannot in good conscience now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film in the Dominican Republic. Lionsgate's supportive, all that. So these messages are very concerning and weird if they are true. Even if they're not true, they are. Side note, Josh Duhamel might be taking over the role. Good for him. But so we're going to play a little game here, and I'm going to read you a line, and I want you to tell me if this is from the text message or not. Okay? Text message, DMs, whatever. All right, here we go. Say that you're mine. M-I-N-E, mine.
That's a yes.
That's a yes?
Yeah.
Jaren?
Yeah.
That is a yes. I own you now. I'll own you forever.
Yeah.
No.
That's a yeah.
Oh, damn.
I wanted it to be no.
You taste just like Tang, I bet.
No. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Please no.
It's a no.
Okay. Thank God.
I want to make a salad with you as the protein.
Yeah.
That just sounds like no, just because like it's a very concentrated thing. It's like you're thinking about the like health benefits of the human body. It just seems like just with you on top, like that sounds like legit. But okay, so I say no.
It's a no.
Oh,
I'm intense. I need your blood. I want you to feed me with it.
I'm pretty sure that's a yeah.
I think that's yes. Yeah,
That's a yes. That's a yes. I need you to rent us a place and set it up with a list of things I'll mail you about.
Oh God. Oh, I mean that's weird. So yes.
Yeah, it sounds too vague to be no. So yeah.
Oh my God, that just made me so hard. And that I didn't mean to go that.
I thought you were replying to our yeses right now.
That was correct. Part of it. Thinking of holding your heart in my hands and controlling it when it beats. I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. F, that's scary to admit. B, I've never admitted that before. I've cut the heart out of a living animal and eaten it before while still warm.
No.
I hope to God that's yes, because where the hell are you coming up with that otherwise?
It's real.
What?
Yeah, you said that. I've seen parts of it.
Here's the full story is that women are coming forward with messages claiming that Armie Hammer sends them things about being a cannibal, and that's what he's excited about.
Oh, wow.
So now that we've ruined Jaren forever,
What does his twin brother think?
Mark from the Trumpcast goes, I wonder which Winklevoss it was. Yeah, it's just a very odd story. And of course, he's denying them as anyone would do. But the messages are just very, very concerning. This came right before singer Azalea Banks cooked her dead cat in a pot. So it's been a really weird week.
It's January of 2021. I mean, at least the deadly pandemic waited till fucking March.
We're off to a great start.
God!
Tomorrow might be the series finale of America.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very, very weird story. And, the thing, oh God, this is going to take me down a path. The thing that gets me is like, yes, they are creepy. And yes, they like, I don't understand how people would ever say this. If you read the messages, the people that are on the receiving side are going back and forth with it. Like saying like, oh yeah, I want you to do that. And and all this stuff. But still just how freaking weird. Whatever happened to Sylvie's love?
Oh, that now sounds like the horror movie version of Sylvie's Love that we can do.
Is it bad that I've never liked Armie Hammer?
No, I haven't either. I mean,
like when everybody was reading the article, they were like, "Oh wow, but he's got such a screen presence and he's so charming." I'm like, "No, yeah, he definitely seems like the guy who would eat my face off." Like,
he was the lower half of Call Me by Your Name. I mean, Timothy Chalamet is the one knocking it out of the park.
That's the thing. Every movie he's been in has been great for the most part.
Yes, that's true. He's got a good agent.
But he's not normally the best part of the movie, I don't think, personally.
There's another meme where he's massaging Timothy Chalamet's shoulders. And it's like, he's not massaging, he's tenderizing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this took a really weird turn. Why did I put this on the outline? So that's happening in our world today. So yeah, Armie Hammer 2024.
Probably.
The way things are going. Oh man. All right. Let's take a deep breath. No, so let's talk about top new releases this week. We have a few. Our Friend Friday is in limited theaters and premium VOD, as well as The White Tiger on Friday on Netflix. I do want to just plug that February 12th, I believe it is, there's going to be a ton of movies released, either in limited theaters, on streaming, or on VOD. Just because I have been updating guyatthemovies.com for, since it started. But all the news recently has been about release dates. Every one of them has said February 12th. And it's just getting kind of crazy. There's going to be a lot of movies that month. So, thank God.
Let's do it. Batten down the hatches. Just get on the couch and go for 48 hours, baby.
I just heard your fiance in the background go, no!
He will be getting a hotel room.
Jaren, thank you for joining us for the weird ending to that. But we love having you here. We're very happy that you're here. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Jaren Talks Movies. Well, I guess this is gonna be on streaming platforms as well or podcast. But yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Jaren Talks Movies. You can find me on most social media at Jaren Talks, and then I've also started a TikTok. Yes, I'm getting into the TikTok realm, and you can find me at Jaren Keeps Talking. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on.
You're very welcome. We're very happy to have
Thanks
you
so much.
anytime.
Yeah.
I also just noticed that the way you wrote your name was Jaren. I talk movies.
Yeah.
His qualifications.
It works out perfectly. Sean, where can people find you?
People can find me at Math Teacher Movies on Instagram, where I do Monologue Mondays, What the Oscars Got Wrong Wednesdays, and Final Shot Fridays. And I also review movies and TV shows of old and new. Shit, dude, that was good.
That was a good one. You can find me at guidetomovies.com for all your movie news and reviews, as well as Guide to Movies on Instagram, Guide to Movies 1 on Twitter and TikTok, and Guide to Movies 1 on Facebook. In addition to that, you can listen to this podcast wherever you're listening to it, meow, as well as any other podcast platforms. There's a few things coming up to plug. One, Sean, every Monday, Awards Watch with Sean on guidetomovies.com. Every Friday is the WandaVision recap from Darren's Movies Reviews. And this Thursday continues the trivia night with Guide to Movies and the Chumps. This is Chick Flick Edition. Not addiction, edition. So that is Thursday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. So that will be a lot of fun. Come win some prizes, chat with people. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. So, Sean, what would you like people to know?
Here's our PSA of the evening. Wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask. I'm done with it. Wear your mask. I want to go to a movie theater, so wear a mask. Also, when you get the opportunity, get vaccinated. I'm getting vaccinated tomorrow, and I will be still posting reviews. If you see me stop putting not even putting that in there. All right. Get vaccinated when you can. It's fine. If you think it's bad, talk to your doctor first, and they'll tell you it's good, and then it's fine. Okay? So please get vaccinated. Please wear your masks. I want to go back to a movie theater really bad. So just please do that.
Do you know which one you're getting?
Oh, I forgot. I was just so excited there was a time for me. I think it was Moderna. Is it Moderna? Is it called Moderna?
Moderna, yeah.
Moderna, yeah.
So Moderna and Pfizer are I guess they're both 2 shots now. So
yeah.
I go for my second one on Thursday, and should be interesting. So I just heard some people, like, if you have bad reactions to a flu shot, you're going to have similar reactions to this. And I always am like a little fatigued afterwards. So I'm like, bedtime at 6.
I was going to say, that's a day off from work. It's a sick day. I mean, like, yeah, I know it sucks to be sick, but you know you're going to be good. So, movies.
Exactly.
Like you need an excuse.
I got to do.
All right, Jaren, once again, thank you so much for being here, and we will have you back soon.
Yeah, thank you.